Disclaimer: the content provided on this channel is for general informational and educational purposes only. It is not legal advice. I am not a licensed attorney. Viewing this content, commenting, or engaging in any communication with the creator of this channel does not create an attorney-client relationship, nor is any communication considered privileged or confidential. The law is complex and varies significantly by jurisdiction. The information presented may not be applicable in your specific state or country. For advice on your individual legal situation or issue, you must consult with a licensed attorney in your jurisdiction. Do not act or refrain from acting based on the content of this channel.
The following presentation is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The information contained herein is not intended to be a substitute for professional legal or marketing advice. All brand names, trademarks, and commercials discussed are the property of their respective owners and are used for commentary and analysis under the principles of fair use. You're in your car. It's a Tuesday morning. The coffee is lukewarm, the traffic is biblical, and you're flipping through the radio dial trying to find something, anything, to distract you from the soul-crushing monotony of your commute. You land on a station and a commercial starts. Your thumb reflexively moves to the seek button, your brain already trained to filter out the noise of desperate sales pitches. But it stops. Your hand freezes mid-air. Something is different. There's no upbeat jingle. No booming announcer voice promising 0% financing. Just a man talking. And his voice is weird. It's not smooth. It's a little gravelly, a little tired. He's not selling you a car or a mattress or a low-interest mortgage. He seems to be telling you a story, and you can't turn it off. You have just stumbled into the most deceptively powerful 60 seconds in American advertising history. You found the commercial for Top Dog Law. Now, if you've never heard of it, don't worry. This isn't some billion-dollar masterpiece cooked up by a team of marketing gurus on Madison Avenue with a Super Bowl budget. This is the brainchild of one man. A personal injury lawyer from a town you've likely never heard of, who was, by all accounts, on the verge of financial ruin. He didn't have a budget. He didn't have a focus group. He had a microphone he probably bought from Radio Shack and a deep, almost primal understanding of one thing: how to get inside the human mind and flip the switches that make us listen. What he created breaks every single rule they teach you in marketing school. The audio quality is objectively terrible. The pacing is all wrong. He stumbles over his words. He doesn't even clearly state his call to action until the very end. And yet, it works. It works so well that it didn't just save his law firm. It turned it into a multi-million-dollar empire and made him a local legend. It's the advertising equivalent of a bumblebee. Aerodynamically, it shouldn't be able to fly, but it does, and it stings like hell. And the reason you're here, the reason you clicked on this video, is because you felt that pull. That invisible force that makes you pay attention when you should be tuning out. Today, we are going to reverse engineer that force. We are going to put this commercial under a microscope and dissect it, second by second, to uncover the psychological tripwires and persuasion secrets hidden in plain sight. And by the time we're done, you won't just understand the magic. You'll know how to perform the trick yourself. This isn't just about an ad. It's a masterclass in influence that you can apply to your emails, your presentations, your sales calls, even your daily conversations. So let's set the stage. Imagine you're hearing it for the first time. The last commercial was loud. A cacophony of sound effects and a screaming used car salesman. Then silence. A brief, jarring moment of dead air. And then a sound. It's the faint, unmistakable crackle of a vinyl record. A sound no one has put in a commercial on purpose in 40 years. And through that crackle, a voice emerges, not loud but close. It feels like he's in the passenger seat next to you and he says something completely unexpected. He doesn't say, "Have you been injured in an accident?" He doesn't say, "Call the offices of Top Dog Law today." He starts in the middle of a thought. He says, "They say a dog is man's best friend." And right there, in that first 3 seconds, he has already won. He's deployed 3 devastatingly effective psychological weapons. The first, and most important, is the pattern interrupt. Your brain has a built-in bouncer, a gatekeeper called the reticular activating system. Its job is to filter out the useless information from the important stuff. It's why you can be in a loud, crowded room and not hear a single conversation. But the moment someone says your name, your head snaps in that direction. Your bouncer heard something important and let it through. For 99.9% of radio ads, our bouncer knows the drill. Upbeat music, a slick announcer voice, a question about insurance rates. The bouncer immediately recognizes the pattern. Ah, another ad, and throws it out. You don't even consciously register that you're ignoring it. But the Top Dog Law commercial doesn't present any of those patterns. The dead air, the vinyl crackle, the quiet conversational tone. It's all wrong. Your brain's bouncer stops, confused. It's like seeing a penguin walking down Main Street. It doesn't fit the pattern of normal, so the bouncer can't just dismiss it. It has to let it through to your conscious mind for analysis. It forces you to ask, what is this? And in that moment of curiosity, he has your undivided attention. He's bypassed your defenses completely. The second weapon is what we can call radical authenticity, and it's embedded in the oral texture of the ad. Think about it. Every other commercial is polished to a mirror shine. The voices are perfect. The audio is crystal clear, compressed, and loud to cut through the noise. It screams, "This is a professional, expensive advertisement." And our brains have learned to equate that professional polish with a sales pitch. We instinctively raise our guard. The Top Dog commercial does the exact opposite. Sounds cheap. It sounds like it was recorded in a closet. The vinyl crackle sounds old. The lawyer's voice isn't a perfect, resonant baritone. It's the voice of a real person. There are slight imperfections, hesitations. This is a deliberate choice. It's the audio equivalent of a handwritten letter in a pile of glossy junk mail. The lack of polish becomes its greatest strength. It signals to your subconscious, this isn't an advertisement. This is a real person sharing a real thought. It disarms you by rejecting the very slickness we've been conditioned to distrust. It feels more like found footage than a commercial, and that raw, unfiltered quality makes it feel more truthful, more trustworthy, before he's even made a single claim. But the third weapon, the one that seals the deal in these opening seconds, is the narrative bait. He doesn't start with a fact, a statistic, or a sales pitch. He starts with the beginning of a story. They say a dog is man's best friend. This is a psychological masterstroke that leverages something called the Zeigarnik effect. It's a principle that states our brains are incredibly uncomfortable with incomplete stories or unresolved tension. We are hardwired to seek closure. When you watch a movie trailer that ends right before the big explosion, you feel a desperate need to see the movie. When a TV show ends on a cliffhanger, you can't stop thinking about what happens next. The Top Dog lawyer uses this on a microscale. He opens a story loop. They say a dog is man's best friend. Our brains immediately ask, okay, and? What about it? Where is this going? He has created an information gap, an open question, and our minds cannot stand it. We have to keep listening to find out the answer to close the loop. It's an itch that demands to be scratched. So let's recap. In just 3 seconds before he has even mentioned the word law, he has successfully bypassed your brain's ad blocker with a pattern interrupt. He has lowered your defenses and built subconscious trust through radical authenticity. And he has hooked your attention with an irresistible narrative bait that forces you to keep listening. He hasn't asked you for anything. He hasn't tried to sell you anything. He has simply and brilliantly made it impossible for you to tune him out. But that's just the opening gambit. That's just getting his foot in the door of your mind. What he says next, the way he twists that simple opening line about a dog, is where he moves from getting your attention to seizing control of your emotions. It's where the persuasion becomes almost hypnotic. And it all hinges on a single, powerful, and deeply emotional appeal that no one sees coming. That appeal is the archetype of the guardian, the protector, the one who stands between you and the wolves at the door. And the genius of the Top Dog Law commercial is that it uses the image of a dog to activate this deep, primal need for protection without you ever consciously realizing it's happening. See, your logical brain hears lawyer commercial. It immediately puts up its defenses. It's bracing for cheesy slogans, aggressive promises, and men in suits standing in front of bookshelves. You're ready to be sold to and you're ready to resist. But you're not ready for a dog. A dog, specifically the kind of dog this commercial evokes, bypasses your logic entirely. It speaks directly to your limbic system, the ancient, emotional part of your brain responsible for survival instincts. And what does a loyal guard dog represent? Unconditional loyalty, ferocious defense of its family, a simple black and white view of the world. You are either part of the pack, or you are a threat. There is no middle ground. This is the emotional landscape the commercial drops you into in less than a second. Think about their target audience. Someone who's just been in a car wreck. They're in pain. They're confused. They're getting calls from an insurance adjuster who sounds friendly, but is using carefully crafted scripts to minimize their claim. They feel alone, overwhelmed, and vulnerable. They don't just need legal advice. They need an ally. They need a protector. And then through the radio comes the sound of a low growl, the feeling of a powerful, loyal animal standing guard. The commercial isn't selling you a lawyer. It's selling you a feeling. The feeling of having a guardian who will stand over you and bare its teeth at anyone who tries to take advantage of you in your weakest moment. This is a masterstroke of psychological positioning. Most law firms try to build trust through logic. They'll say, "I've been practicing for 25 years," or "We've recovered millions for our clients." That's an appeal to the neocortex, the rational brain. It requires the listener to process information, weigh credentials, and make a judgment. Top Dog Law completely sidesteps this. They don't ask you to think they're trustworthy. They make you feel they are, by associating themselves with the most trusted and loyal archetype in the animal kingdom. We have a relationship with dogs that goes back tens of thousands of years. We bred them to be our companions and our protectors. The phrase "man's best friend" isn't just a cliché. It's a deep cultural and biological truth. We are hardwired to trust them. So when a law firm calls itself Top Dog, it's performing a kind of psychological transplant. It's taking all the positive attributes we associate with a loyal dog: faithfulness, tenacity, courage, a deep-seated instinct to protect its own, and grafting them onto the image of a lawyer. This solves the single biggest marketing problem personal injury lawyers have: the shark stereotype. People are inherently suspicious of lawyers. They're seen as slick, expensive, and self-interested. But nobody is suspicious of their own dog. Your dog is the one being you know with absolute certainty is on your side, no matter what. By becoming the top dog, the firm transforms itself from a potential predator, a shark, into a proven protector. The animal metaphor isn't just a gimmick. It's a complete reframing of their professional identity. And notice the kind of dog they're invoking. This isn't a top poodle or top golden retriever. The name, the sounds, the tone, it all suggests a bulldog, a pit bull, a junkyard dog. An animal that, once it bites down, does not let go. This imagery is incredibly powerful when you're facing an insurance company. Insurance companies are giant, faceless, bureaucratic beasts. They are designed to wear you down, to overwhelm you with paperwork, to delay and deny until you give up. The idea of unleashing a tenacious dog that will sink its teeth into that bureaucracy and not let go until it gets what's yours is an incredibly satisfying and empowering fantasy for someone who feels powerless. The commercial creates a simple mythic narrative. You are the injured, innocent member of the pack. The insurance company is the intruder, the threat circling your home. And Top Dog Law is the alpha protector who will meet that threat with overwhelming, relentless force. It's a beautifully simple story that resonates on a gut level. It doesn't require complex thought. It's a feeling. It's instinct. This is why the ad is so persuasive. It's not arguing with you. It's aligning with you. While other lawyers are trying to impress you with their credentials, Top Dog is busy making you feel safe. While other firms are making promises, Top Dog is triggering a deep-seated emotional response. They've understood a fundamental truth of human psychology. When people are scared and hurt, they don't respond to spreadsheets and resumes. They respond to the promise of protection. They look for a guardian. The commercial doesn't just offer to represent you in a legal dispute. It offers to adopt you into its pack and defend you as one of its own. This emotional appeal is so potent that it can make a listener completely forget they're listening to an advertisement. They're not being sold a service, they're being offered a shield. This is the difference between marketing and true persuasion. One tries to convince your mind, the other captures your heart. But creating this feeling isn't just about picking the right animal. It's about the specific words, the rhythm of the speech, the auditory texture they weave to turn a simple metaphor into an unforgettable brand identity. The entire hypnotic effect is built layer by layer, from the very first sounds you hear. And the opening line of the ad, the very first thing the narrator says, is a masterclass in psychological framing that sets the stage for everything that follows. It's designed to disarm you and draw you in before you even know what you're listening to. The line is, a lot of folks think lawyers are just sharks in expensive suits. Let that sink in. It's not. Have you been injured in an accident? It's not. At Top Dog Law, we fight for you. It's a quiet, conversational observation. It sounds less like an advertisement and more like the beginning of a story your uncle might tell you at a barbecue. And every single word in that sentence is a carefully placed psychological domino, set up to knock down your defenses one by one. Let's start with the first two words. This is a classic rapport-building technique. It's called a presupposition. The speaker isn't asking you a question. He's stating a shared reality. He's presupposing that you and he are on the same page, that you share a common understanding of the world. It's an immediate bridge between him and the listener. It's not aggressive, it's not sleazy. It's inclusive. It's the verbal equivalent of a friendly arm around the shoulder. It says, "Hey, you and me, we get it." It instantly frames the conversation as a chat between equals, not a pitch from a corporation to a consumer. Then comes the next part. A lot of folks think, this is where the real genius begins. This is a master-level application of a persuasion principle known as pacing and leading. Before a persuader can lead you to a new belief, they must first pace your current one. They have to meet you where you are. They have to enter the conversation that's already going on in your head. And what is the conversation in most people's heads when they think about personal injury lawyers? It's skepticism. It's mistrust. It's the image of an ambulance chaser, a slick talker who only cares about getting a cut of the settlement. The creators of this ad know this. They don't ignore it. They don't try to fight it. They walk right up to it, look it in the eye and embrace it. By saying "a lot of folks think," the narrator validates your skepticism. He tells you that your opinion is not only valid but common. You're not a cynic. You're just like a lot of folks. This is incredibly disarming. Most advertising tries to tell you that your existing beliefs are wrong, and that their product is the answer. This ad does the opposite. It tells you your existing belief is right. Your guard, which was instinctively raised the second you recognized it was a commercial, begins to lower. You think, okay, this guy isn't trying to pull a fast one. He understands how I feel. And then we get to the payload of the sentence. Lawyers are just sharks in expensive suits. Boom. He said it. He voiced your deepest, most cynical objection. He took the number one reason you would have for distrusting him and he put it on the table himself. This is a tactic called stealing thunder. In a courtroom, a lawyer might bring up the weakest part of their own case first. Why? Because it defangs the opposition. When the information comes from them, it seems honest and transparent. When it comes from their opponent, it sounds like a damning accusation. Top dog law is stealing the thunder of your own inner critic. Before your brain can even finish the thought, "Ugh, another lawyer commercial, these guys are all sharks," the narrator has already said it for you. He's not just pacing your reality. He's speaking your internal monologue out loud. The effect is profound. It creates an almost shocking sense of alignment. Suddenly, he's not the enemy. The enemy is the abstract concept of sharks in expensive suits. And he's on your side, standing with you against them. This single opening sentence completely reframes the dynamic. It obliterates the typical advertiser versus audience relationship and replaces it with a conspiratorial us versus them relationship. Us is you and this surprisingly honest narrator. Them are all those other lawyers, the ones who fit the stereotype. In just 12 words, the ad has built rapport, validated your skepticism, and positioned the speaker as a fellow traveler, a truth teller in a sea of liars. You're not being sold to anymore. You're being let in on a secret. And because of that, you keep listening. You have to know what this guy, who so clearly gets it, is going to say next. And what he says next is the pivot. It's the moment the ad transitions from pacing your reality to leading you to a new one. After that perfect opening, the narrator continues with a slight, knowing sigh in his voice. And to be honest, some of them are. This is the kill shot for your skepticism. If the first line lowered your guard, this line makes you drop your weapons entirely. Think about how unexpected this is. He didn't just acknowledge the stereotype. He confirmed it. He just admitted that his own profession is full of the very people you despise. This is a calculated risk that pays off massively in the currency of trust. It's so brutally honest that it feels like it can't be a sales tactic. It's what a friend would tell you in confidence. It violates every rule of traditional advertising, which is about presenting a polished, perfect image. By admitting the flaws within his own industry, the narrator claims a higher form of authority. Not the authority of a perfect, untouchable expert, but the authority of the insider who's willing to tell the truth. He becomes the ultimate credible source. He's not defending the tribe. He's judging it right alongside you. And only now, after he has earned your complete trust, after he has aligned himself with you against a common enemy, does he make the turn. The very next word is the most important word in the entire commercial. But here at Top Dog Law, we're a different breed. There it is. The lead. He paced you with lawyers are sharks. He paced you further with, and to be honest, some of them are. And now he leads you with, but we are different. Because he has so thoroughly validated your negative beliefs, you are now psychologically primed to be receptive to an alternative. You're open to the idea of an exception to the rule. He didn't try to tell you the rule doesn't exist. He just told you he's the exception. And look at the language he uses. A different breed. It's not, we offer superior legal services, or we have a proven track record. Those are corporate buzzwords, the language of the sharks. Instead, a different breed is folksy, organic, and powerful. It directly contrasts with the shark metaphor. A shark is a cold-blooded, unfeeling predator. What's a different breed? It conjures images of loyalty, of man's best friend, of a creature that is protective and part of the family. It ties perfectly back to the top dog name without ever having to say like a loyal dog. He lets your brain make that connection, which makes it feel like your own idea. This 1-2 punch, the disarming opening and the trustworthy pivot, is a masterclass in emotional and psychological persuasion. It bypasses the logical, analytical part of your brain that screens advertisements and speaks directly to the emotional, intuitive part that makes decisions based on trust and gut feeling. Before you've heard a single fact about the law firm, before you know what kind of cases they handle or what their success rate is, you've already made a subconscious decision. These guys are different. These guys I can trust. The foundation has been laid. Your skepticism has been neutralized, and a bond of trust has been established. But the words are only half the battle, because the person they chose to say these words, the actual sound of the narrator's voice, his tone, his pacing, his accent, well, that's where the subconscious persuasion goes to a whole new level. That's where the real artistry begins. So let's talk about that voice. Who is this guy? Because he's not the typical radio announcer. He doesn't have that deep, silky, in a world, movie trailer voice. He's not the upbeat, high-energy car salesman voice. He doesn't sound like a professional actor at all. And that is exactly why he is so devastatingly effective. The voice they chose is the auditory equivalent of a worn-in leatherwork glove. It's got texture. It's got grit. There's a slight rasp, a hint of gravel, like he spent a few too many nights in a smoky bar or a few too many mornings shouting over the roar of machinery. This isn't the voice of a man who's spent his life in a library or a courtroom. This is the voice of a man who has worked with his hands. He sounds like a factory foreman, a master mechanic, a long-haul trucker who's seen every state in the union twice over. He is the archetype of the seasoned, no-nonsense, blue-collar patriarch. And this is a calculated, strategic choice. The target demographic for a personal injury lawyer isn't Wall Street bankers or tech billionaires. It's everyday people. It's the construction worker who fell off a scaffold, the warehouse employee who slipped a disc lifting a heavy box, the delivery driver who got T-boned by someone running a red light. These are the people who are most vulnerable, not just physically but financially. They're the ones who the insurance companies see as easy targets. So when this voice comes on the radio, it doesn't sound like an advertisement. It sounds like a piece of advice from someone you already know and trust. It sounds like your uncle, the one who knows how to fix anything, leaning over the hood of a car and telling you, don't let him screw you over. Now let's break down the accent. It's not generic. It's specifically regional, a flavor of Middle America. It's got hints of a southern drawl mixed with a bit of Midwestern flatness. It's the accent you hear in a diner off the interstate in Ohio, or a hardware store in rural Pennsylvania, or a VFW hall in Kentucky. It is deliberately, powerfully, not a coastal, elite accent. It's not the sound of New York City or Los Angeles. This creates an immediate psychological effect known as in-group favoritism. The narrator is signaling on a subconscious level, I am one of you. We are the same. We share the same values. We are the and by extension the insurance companies with their corporate lawyers and their fancy suits, they are the them. He's drawing a line in the sand with the sound of his voice alone, and he's putting himself and top dog law on your side of that line. Then there's the pacing. Listen to how he speaks. He's in no rush. The words come out slowly, deliberately. Each one feels considered, weighed. This is the cadence of authority. Fast talkers are associated with con men and salespeople trying to pull a fast one. They use speed to confuse you, to overwhelm your critical thinking. But this narrator, he speaks with the slow, deliberate confidence of a man who knows he's right and has nothing to hide. His pacing gives you time to absorb every word, to let the meaning sink in. It conveys a sense of gravity and importance. It says, what I am telling you right now is serious. You need to listen. It's a paternal, almost calming rhythm. which is incredibly powerful when you're talking to someone who is likely in a state of panic and stress after an accident. He's not adding to the chaos. He's offering a steady guiding hand through it. And the tone? Oh, the tone is the masterstroke. He's not angry. He's not shouting. There's no manufactured outrage. Instead, his tone is one of weary resignation. It's a tone of profound disappointment. When he talks about the insurance companies, he sounds like a father who's just found out his kid has been lying to him again. He's not surprised, he's just tired of it. They'll tell you it's a fair offer, he might say. And in those words you can hear decades of him seeing the same dirty tricks played on good, hard-working people. This weariness is a form of social proof. It implies he's been fighting this fight for a long, long time. He's seen it all. He knows their playbook inside and out. This isn't his first rodeo. And that weary tone creates an incredible bond with the listener. It says, I understand your frustration. I share it. I've been dealing with these guys for years, and I'm as sick of their games as you are. This combination of archetype, accent, pacing, and tone bypasses our logical brains and hits us right in the gut. We are wired to trust this kind of voice. It triggers a deep-seated respect for age, experience, and authenticity. In a world saturated with slick, polished corporate messaging, a voice that sounds genuinely real, with all its imperfections, cuts through the noise like a chainsaw. The slight rasp, the non-perfect diction, these aren't mistakes. They are authenticity signals. They are proof that this is a real person, not a paid actor reading a script, even though he is, in fact, a paid actor reading a script. That's the genius of it. Think about the casting call for this commercial. The ad agency didn't send out a notice for a professional voice actor. They probably wrote a brief that said something like, seeking a voice that sounds like it's been aged in a barrel of bourbon and cigarette smoke for 40 years. We need the guy everyone at the factory trusts. He doesn't sugarcoat things. He gives you the hard truth because he respects you too much to lie. He needs to sound like he could build a house with his bare hands and win a bar fight if he had to, but is fundamentally decent. He needs to sound like he protects his own. And that last part is key. This voice doesn't just build trust. It projects an aura of protection. This brings us back to the name, Top Dog Law. A top dog isn't a pampered show poodle. It's a bulldog, a junkyard dog. It might be a little grizzled, a little scarred up, but you know without a shadow of a doubt that it will defend its territory and its family with ferocious loyalty. The voice they chose is the human embodiment of that junkyard dog. It's gruff, it's not pretty, but it's the voice of a protector. It's the voice you want in your corner when you're going up against $1 billion insurance company. The messenger has become a perfect, living, breathing incarnation of the brand itself. So you're driving in your car, you're stressed, you're in pain, you're worried about your medical bills and your job. And through the radio comes this voice. It's not selling you anything. It's talking to you. It understands you. It's calm, it's confident, it's authentic. And it's on your side. Before he's even finished his first sentence, you're already halfway to trusting him completely. They've established the perfect messenger, the ultimate vessel of trust and authority. But a perfect messenger needs a perfect message. The voice is the delivery system, but the payload is the story it tells. And the specific words he uses, the pictures he paints in your mind, the emotional buttons he pushes with surgical precision, that's where they weaponize this trust. That's where they turn persuasion into a masterpiece. And that masterpiece begins not with a logo, not with a jingle, but with a story. A story designed to hijack your nervous system. Think about how the commercial starts. It doesn't say, "Have you been in an accident?" That's a question. It's weak. It gives you a chance to say no and tune out. Instead, it drops you, the listener, directly into the chaos. It's a technique as old as Homer, called in media res, starting in the middle of the action. You hear the screech of tires, the sickening crunch of metal, the shatter of glass. These aren't just sound effects. They are neurological triggers. Your brain doesn't process that as a sound effect of a car crash. Processes it as a threat. Your amygdala, the ancient reptilian part of your brain responsible for the fight or flight response, lights up. Your heart rate might quicken just a little. Your attention is now fully involuntarily captured. They haven't asked for your attention. They've seized it. And then the narrator's voice comes in, low and serious. And notice the words he uses. He doesn't describe the scene from a third-person perspective. He puts you directly in the driver's seat. He uses the most powerful word in all of advertising. You. You're sitting at a red light, minding your own business. Maybe you're thinking about what to make for dinner. Maybe you're humming along to the radio. And then out of nowhere, bam, your head whips back. Your world explodes into a spiderweb of cracked glass. Everything is confusion and ringing ears. Let's break that down. You're sitting at a red light. That's universal. We all do that every single day. It establishes an immediate, relatable baseline of normalcy. Minding your own business. This is critical. It establishes your innocence. You did nothing wrong. You are the victim. This isn't just an accident. It's an injustice. Thinking about what to make for dinner. This detail is brilliant. It's mundane, it's relatable, and it paints a picture of a life that was just seconds ago, completely normal and safe. A life that has now been violently interrupted. Then the impact. Bam! A single percussive word that mimics the physical shock. Your head whips back. He's describing a physical sensation. You can almost feel it. Your world explodes into a spiderweb of cracked glass. That is pure poetry. It's a visual metaphor so strong you can see it in your mind's eye. It's not just a broken windshield. It's the shattering of your normal life. Confusion and ringing ears. Again, he's describing internal sensory experiences. He is telling you how you feel. By using this visceral, eucentric language, the commercial performs a kind of psychological inception. It implants a memory of an event that never happened to you. It makes the hypothetical feel experiential. You're no longer a passive listener of a radio ad. You are the protagonist in a traumatic event. Your brain, on an emotional level, has just lived through that crash. Now that they have you in this heightened emotional state, this state of vulnerability, they introduce the villain. And the villain is not the other driver. The other driver is almost irrelevant, just a catalyst for the plot. The real villain, the true monster of this story, is the insurance company. And listen to how they frame it. The narration shifts. The voice gets a little colder, a little more conspiratorial. And in the days that follow, the pain in your neck is nothing compared to the headache you're about to get. As you'll get a call from an incredibly friendly sounding person from the other guy's insurance company. They'll ask how you're feeling. They'll say they're so sorry this happened. They'll say they just want to make things right. This is a masterclass in building distrust. The incredibly friendly sounding person is immediately coded as disingenuous. The friendliness is a mask. The repetition of "they'll say" reinforces this. It's what they say, not what they mean. The commercial is teaching you to be suspicious. It's positioning the insurance adjuster not as a helper, but as a predator disguised in the sheep's clothing of customer service. Then comes the turn. They'll say they just want to make things right. And then they'll offer you a check for $700. They'll tell you it's a fair offer. They'll tell you to take it, to sign the papers, to put this all behind you. What they won't tell you is that their entire business model, their multi-billion-dollar office towers, their massive profits, are all built on one simple principle: paying you as little as possible. This is the reveal of the monster. They've transformed the insurance company from a boring bureaucratic entity into a calculating, greedy Goliath. Notice the language: multi-billion-dollar office towers. This creates a David versus Goliath narrative. It's you, the injured victim, against this faceless corporate behemoth. Their massive profits. This frames it as a zero-sum game. Every dollar they make is a dollar they took from a victim like you, paying you as little as possible. This is the core accusation, stated as an undeniable fact. It reframes their fair offer as an insult, an act of aggression. The commercial has now successfully established two key emotional pillars: the physical and emotional trauma of the accident, and the impending financial and psychological trauma of fighting the villain. But they don't stop there. They have to raise the stakes. They have to make this fight feel not just important, but existentially necessary. The narrator's voice softens again, becoming more empathetic, more concerned. And you're at home. The medical bills are starting to pile up on the kitchen table. You're missing work, and that's lost income you can't get back. The car is wrecked. Your back hurts so much you can't even pick up your own kid. And you're lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling wondering, how are we going to pay for this? What if this pain never goes away? Who is going to fight for me? This is the agitation phase, and it is brutal. Every single one of those sentences is a carefully selected emotional trigger. Medical bills piling up, financial anxiety, missing work, lost income, fear of job loss, fear of poverty. Can't even pick up your own kid. This is a gut punch. It connects the injury to your identity as a parent, to your ability to love and care for your family. It weaponizes your deepest sense of responsibility and failure. And that final series of questions, that's the sound of despair. It's the voice of the victim, alone and overwhelmed. How are we going to pay for this? What if this pain never goes away? Who is going to fight for me? That last question is the pivot. It is the desperate plea that the entire narrative has been engineered to produce. They have systematically created a problem, introduced a villain, and agitated your deepest fears until you are screaming internally for a solution. They have manufactured a perfect vacuum of hope and power. And it is into that vacuum, at the moment of your deepest, most manufactured despair, that top dog law finally steps onto the stage. They haven't tried to sell you anything yet. They haven't listed their services or talked about their fees. They have done something far more powerful. They have made you the hero of a tragic story, and then convinced you that you're about to lose. They haven't tried to sell you anything yet. They haven't listed their services or talked about their fees. They have done something far more powerful. They have made you the hero of a tragic story, and then convinced you that you're about to lose. And this is where the genius of the commercial truly ignites. Because every great story, every story that has ever captivated a human heart, doesn't just have a hero in peril. It has a villain, a force of opposition, an antagonist that makes the hero's struggle meaningful. If you're the hero, who's the villain? The other driver? No, they're a footnote. The real villain, the one the commercial builds into a monolithic, unstoppable force, is your own insurance company. Or the other guys. It doesn't matter. In the world of this ad, they are one and the same. A single, faceless corporate dragon sitting on a hoard of gold that is rightfully yours. Listen to the language they use. It's never just the insurance company. It's the big insurance company. It's their team of highly trained adjusters. It's their army of lawyers. The word choice is deliberate, militaristic, and designed to create a staggering sense of scale. It's not a dispute between you and a company. It's a war. And you, injured and alone, are about to face a disciplined, well-funded army. This is the creation of a common enemy, one of the most powerful tools of persuasion known to man. Nothing unifies people faster than a shared threat. By painting the insurance company as the bully on the playground, Top Dog Law isn't just offering a service, they're offering an alliance. They are positioning themselves to be on your side of the barricade. They are creating an us. And if there's an us, there has to be a them. This us versus them framework is a psychological shortcut. It bypasses our rational brain, the one that might think about contracts and policies, and plugs directly into our tribal instincts. For millennia, human survival depended on quickly identifying who was in our tribe and who was not, who was friend and who was foe. The commercial exploits this ancient wiring. Suddenly, the nice person from the insurance company who called to see how you're doing is reframed. They're not a friend. They're a scout from the enemy camp. Their friendly questions are no longer a courtesy. They're an interrogation, a fishing expedition for any piece of information they can use to deny your claim. The ad will often include a snippet, a tiny audio dramatization, or a direct warning. Don't talk to them. Don't sign anything. They'll use your own words against you. This is pure, uncut paranoia fuel. It transforms a standard business process into a high-stakes espionage thriller. You, the listener, are now in a minefield, and any misstep could be fatal to your case. The fear of making a mistake, of saying the wrong thing, becomes immense. This feeling of helplessness is the fertile ground in which their solution will take root. They are systematically dismantling your confidence. They are convincing you that the game is rigged, the deck is stacked, and the dealer works for the other side. Think about the psychological state this creates. You've already suffered a loss. Your health, your car, your peace of mind. That's the hook of loss aversion we talked about. But now the commercial introduces a second, more insidious potential loss. The loss of justice. The loss of what you are owed. The insurance company isn't just a bureaucratic entity. They are an active threat, an antagonist whose entire goal is to make you lose again. They want to take the money that is supposed to make you whole and keep it for themselves. This frames the insurance company not just as an adversary, but as profoundly morally wrong. They are greedy. They are unfair. They are kicking you when you are down. This narrative is incredibly powerful because it taps into a deep-seated public suspicion of large corporations and insurance companies in particular. The ad isn't creating a new belief. It's simply pouring gasoline on a fire that's already smoldering in the minds of millions of Americans. We've all heard horror stories. We all have that latent fear that when we actually need the protection we've been paying for, the company will find a loophole to deny us. Top Dog Law's commercial validates this fear. It says, "You're right to be suspicious. It's even worse than you think. They are not your good neighbor. They are a predator, and you are their prey." Let's focus on the figure of the adjuster for a moment. In reality, an insurance adjuster's job is complex. But in the universe of the radio ad, their role is simple. They are the smiling assassin. The commercial portrays them as a master of manipulation, armed with a recorded line and a friendly voice, whose sole purpose is to trick you into settling for pennies on the dollar. They'll sound nice, the ad might warn. They'll tell you they're here to help. This is a classic persuasion technique called inoculation. They are vaccinating you against the insurance company's own influence attempts. By warning you ahead of time that the adjuster's friendliness is a facade, the ad ensures that when the real adjuster calls, you won't see a helper. You'll see the villain the ad told you to expect. You'll be suspicious, guarded, and terrified of being taken advantage of. And what happens when you're terrified and feel out of your depth? You look for an expert. You look for a protector. You look for a champion who understands the enemy's tactics. The commercial has spent minutes meticulously constructing a prison of fear and helplessness around you. It has painted a vivid picture of a powerful, soulless enemy that is coming for you. It has shown you all the traps, all the ways you could lose. It has made you feel small, isolated, and completely, utterly outmatched. Notice the emotional journey. You started as the relatable victim. You became the hero of a tragic story. And now you're the underdog in a fight you cannot possibly win on your own. Your back is against the wall. The enemy is at the gates. The situation feels hopeless. This is not an accident. This is architecture. Emotional architecture. They have to break you down before they can build you back up. They have to create a desperate need before they can present the perfect solution. Every single element is designed to lead to one inescapable conclusion in your mind. I can't do this alone. I need help. I need someone to fight for me. The ad doesn't even have to say it yet. You're already thinking it. You're feeling it in your gut. The problem has been defined not as a simple car accident, but as a war against a corporate giant. The stakes have been raised from getting your car fixed to achieving justice and preventing a second, more devastating loss. The entire commercial up to this point is a masterclass in problem amplification. They take a common problem, a car wreck, and they magnify the stakes and the antagonist to epic proportions. They are not selling you legal services. They are selling you salvation from the dragon. They have created a chasm of despair, a void of power. And now, as you sit in your car, feeling the full weight of this manufactured crisis, feeling the rising panic of being hunted by an army of lawyers and adjusters, the commercial prepares to throw you a rope. It prepares to introduce the one thing that can stand up to the monster they've just created, the one force that can level the playing field, the one hero who can save the hero. And his name is Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer. Let's stop right there. The name itself is a masterclass in branding and psychological positioning. It's a perfect fusion of the relatable and the mythic. Jim Adler. Sounds like your neighbor. It's a solid, dependable, all-American name. It's not some multisyllabic, aristocratic name from a downtown high-rise firm like Harrington, Abernathy, and Sloan. It's just Jim. He's one of us. He's approachable. You feel like you could call him Jim. But then comes the thunder. The Texas Hammer. This isn't a name. It's a title. It's a weapon. It's a promise of violent, decisive action. It's not the Texas negotiator. It's not the Texas litigator. A hammer doesn't negotiate. A hammer doesn't deliberate. A hammer strikes. It builds things up and it smashes things down. And in the context of the faceless corporate insurance monster, you know exactly what it's there to smash. The nickname transforms Jim Adler from a man into a force of nature. It's a brand so powerful it has become a modern folktale. This hero isn't introduced with a gentle harp or a polite string quartet. He arrives on a bolt of lightning, carried by a voice that is engineered to cut through the noise, both on the radio and in your head. The delivery is often loud, aggressive, maybe a little gravelly. It's not the calm, reassuring voice of a doctor or the measured, intellectual tone of a professor. It's the battle cry of a warrior. This is a deliberate strategic choice. In a world of smooth-talking adjusters and their quiet, confident lawyers, the hammer's voice is a declaration of war. It signals that he is not part of their club. He is the outsider, the disruptor, the guy who is willing to flip the table over to get what's right for you. His voice communicates passion, urgency, and a complete and total intolerance for corporate games. It's the sound of someone who has had enough, and he's speaking for everyone who feels the same way. And what does this hero promise? He promises to hammer them. The slogan is brutally simple and brutally effective. The verb hammer is visceral. You can almost feel it. It's a kinetic word that paints an immediate, vivid picture in your mind. A picture of overwhelming force being brought down upon the very people who have been presented as your tormentors. This taps directly into the listener's anger and desire for justice, or maybe even a little bit of revenge. The commercial has spent all this time making you feel powerless, and now it offers you the ultimate power fantasy. The ability to unleash a human hammer on your enemies. This is the activation of a deep, primal archetype. The warrior, the protector, the champion. The story has cast you, the listener, as the victim, the damsel or dude in distress. You're injured, you're confused, you're besieged by a dragon, the insurance company. And just when you're about to lose all hope, a knight in shining armor rides in. He's not a knight in the traditional sense. He's a Texan with a law degree and a metaphorical sledgehammer. But the psychological function is identical. We are fundamentally wired to seek out a protector when we feel threatened. The commercial manufactures an intense feeling of threat and then, in the very same breath, presents the ultimate protector. This masterfully solidifies the us versus them narrative that has been brewing. It's no longer just you against the insurance company. It's now us, you and your champion, the Texas hammer against them. That soulless, greedy corporate machine. This is a classic persuasion tactic that simplifies a complex, intimidating situation into a clear, moral battle of good versus evil. There is no gray area. There is no nuance. There is you, the righteous victim, and them, the villainous corporation. By positioning himself so aggressively and so unambiguously on your side, Jim Adler makes the choice to call him feel like more than just a legal decision. Feels like an act of rebellion. Feels like joining the resistance. It's a moral imperative. You're not just hiring a lawyer. You're picking a side in a war for your own future. And the core value proposition, the central promise of this hero, is not about legal procedure. It's not about filing motions or discovery. It is about one thing: results delivered through action. The commercial doesn't sell you the process. It sells you the outcome. Listen to the language it uses. Get the money you deserve. Don't let them get away with it. We fight for you. These aren't passive statements. They are active, benefit-driven promises. The most powerful promise of all is the one that's implied. You don't have to do the fighting. You're hurt. You're stressed. You're overwhelmed. The last thing you want to do is go to war with a billion-dollar company. The commercial understands this better than anyone. Tells you that you don't have to. You just have to make one phone call. You just have to push the button that launches the missile. You just have to unleash the hammer. He takes the entire burden of the conflict off your shoulders and places it squarely on his own. He will absorb the stress. He will take the phone calls. He will wage the war. All you have to do is recover. This is an incredibly seductive offer. It's a promise of liberation. Not just financial liberation, but emotional and mental liberation from the stress of the fight. Let's dig a little deeper into that central hammer metaphor, because its brilliance is multi-layered. What is a hammer? It's a tool. It's one of the most basic, ancient, and effective tools humanity has ever created. It's not elegant. It's not complex. It is simple, powerful, and it gets the job done through the direct application of force. By branding himself as the hammer, Jim Adler is communicating a whole host of ideas without having to say a single word. First, strength. A hammer cannot be intimidated. Breaks what it hits. This subconsciously tells you he will not be scared off by the insurance company's army of lawyers. Second, directness. A hammer doesn't take the scenic route. Strikes the nail on the head. This suggests he won't get bogged down in legal minutiae or delay tactics. He will go straight for the objective, your money. Third, reliability. A good hammer is a tool you can depend on. It works every single time. This builds a sense of trust and dependability. And finally, impact. A hammer makes a loud noise and leaves a permanent mark. Changes the state of things. This promises that hiring him will lead to a tangible, forceful, and decisive result in your case. Imagine if he'd called himself the Texas Scalpel. A scalpel is precise, it's sharp, it requires expertise, but it's also delicate. It doesn't convey the same sense of righteous, overwhelming force that the situation seems to demand. Or the Texas Shield. A shield is protective, yes, but it's defensive. It's passive. The hammer is offense. It is pure, unadulterated proaction. It is the perfect metaphor for the emotional state the commercial has cultivated in the listener. A desire for a powerful, simple solution to a complex and infuriating problem. So the stage is now fully set. The villain has been established as a monstrous, unfeeling entity. The victim, you, has been made to feel vulnerable, angry, and alone. And now the hero has arrived. The tension that was so carefully constructed, that feeling of anxiety and injustice, has now been given a focal point. A release valve. A weapon. The listener, who moments ago felt helpless, has just been handed the keys to a metaphorical tank. They've been told a dragon exists, and they've just been introduced to the baddest dragon slayer in the land. The emotional journey is reaching its peak. Hope has been restored. A path forward has been revealed. But introducing a hero and making a promise is not enough to get someone to pick up a phone. Persuasion requires one final crucial step. Now that the commercial has your heart pounding and your mind racing, it has to channel all of that emotional energy into a single concrete action. It has to tell you exactly what to do with this newfound hope, this weapon it has placed in your hands. It must now issue its command. And that command, that call to action, is the masterstroke of the entire commercial. It is where all the raw, volatile power generated in the preceding 50 seconds is harnessed, focused, and aimed like a laser. The commercial has spent its time building a towering wave of emotion. Fear, anger, injustice, and finally hope. Now it tells the wave exactly where to crash. And the command is always devastatingly simple. It's never go to our website and fill out a contact form. It's never consider your options and maybe send us an email. It is a primal direct order. Call. Now. Think about the state of the person this ad is targeting. Their world has been turned upside down. They are in pain, they are confused, they are overwhelmed by insurance adjusters, medical bills, and uncertainty. The last thing their brain can handle is a complex, multi-step process. Cognitive load is their enemy. Simplicity is their salvation. Call now is not a suggestion. It is a lifeline thrown to a drowning person. It is a single, clear, achievable step that promises to lead them out of the chaos. It cuts through the fog of trauma with the piercing clarity of a lighthouse beam. But the command isn't just the words. It's the delivery system. And for a radio ad, that system is the phone number itself. This is where Top Dog Law enters the realm of pure cognitive science. They understand that a random string of 7 or 10 digits is just noise. It's forgettable, especially to a mind under duress. So they don't give you a number. They install a piece of software directly into your brain. They do this in one of two ways. First, through brute force repetition. They will say the number. Then the jingle will sing the number. Then the announcer will say the number again, slowly. And one more time for good measure. It's a technique called spaced repetition. A learning method that exploits the memory phenomenon known as the spacing effect. By encountering the number at repeated intervals, your brain is tricked into flagging it as important information that needs to be moved from short-term to long-term memory. It's the same way you learned your multiplication tables. It's auditory drilling. But the truly elite method, the one that separates the masters from the apprentices, is the vanity number. 1-800-TOP-DOGS, 888 byte back, 555 pain law. This isn't just a number. It's a mnemonic device, a brand slogan, and a call to action all rolled into one. It transforms an abstract sequence of digits into a concrete, meaningful concept. Your brain doesn't have to remember 888-248-3222. It just has to remember the core identity of the firm. Byte back. The number becomes an extension of the story. It leverages a cognitive process called chunking, where individual pieces of information are grouped into a larger, more meaningful whole. It's infinitely easier to remember one powerful idea than 7 random numbers. It's the difference between remembering a grocery list and remembering a recipe. One is a chore, the other is a story. So the command is issued. Call this unforgettable number. But even with a clear command and an easy-to-remember target, the human mind is a fortress of doubt and hesitation. The listener's brain immediately starts building walls. But I can't afford a lawyer. But this sounds complicated and stressful. But I don't even know if I have a case. A lesser commercial would fail here. It would issue the command and watch as the listener's own internal monologue defeats the message. But Top Dog Law is a master strategist. It anticipates every single one of these objections. It sees the walls going up, and it brings out the wrecking balls. One by one, it systematically dismantles every barrier to action before it can fully form in the listener's mind. The first and highest wall is money. The fear of exorbitant legal fees is a powerful deterrent. Most people imagine lawyers who charge hundreds of dollars an hour, with retainers worth more than their car. The very idea is intimidating. So Top Dog Law deploys its most powerful weapon, a phrase that is pure marketing genius. There's no fee unless we win. Let's be clear about what's happening here. This is a complete and total risk reversal. The entire financial burden, the entire gamble, is lifted from the victim's shoulders and placed squarely onto the law firms. Suddenly, hiring a team of legal assassins costs you nothing upfront. Zero. The power dynamic is completely inverted. You are no longer a desperate customer begging for a service you can't afford. You are a potential partner, offering them an opportunity. They are now invested in your success because it is inextricably linked to their success. This single phrase demolishes the wall of cost and in its place builds a bridge of trust. It says, "We are so confident we can win for you. We are willing to bet our own money on it." The second wall is effort. The victim is already exhausted. The thought of navigating a complex legal battle, of filling out paperwork, of making endless phone calls is overwhelming. They crave simplicity. They want someone to take the wheel. And so Top Dog Law delivers the next payload. One call is all it takes. We handle everything. This is the promise of the easy button. It reframes the law firm not as a complex tool you have to learn to operate, but as a concierge service that takes care of the mess. They'll deal with the insurance company. They'll handle the paperwork. They'll manage the logistics. Your job is reduced to a single simple task: make the call. After that, the top dog takes over. This transforms the daunting prospect of a lawsuit into a manageable, almost passive process. It's not you against the world anymore. It's you with a team of experts running interference, clearing the path ahead. The wall of complexity crumbles into dust. The third and final wall is uncertainty. Am I just wasting my time? What if my case isn't strong enough? I don't want to look foolish. This is the fear of commitment, the hesitation to take a step without knowing what's on the other side. Top Dog Law anticipates this with surgical precision and neutralizes it with another magic phrase. The consultation is free, and there's no obligation. This is the master key that unlocks the final gate. It lowers the stakes to zero. You are not agreeing to a lawsuit. You are not signing a contract. You are not even committing to hiring them. You are simply agreeing to have a conversation. It's an offer of free information from an expert. Who would say no to that? It removes all pressure. It makes the monumental decision of suing someone feel like the incredibly small, low-risk decision of getting a free opinion. It's a psychological foot-in-the-door technique. By getting you to agree to this small, non-threatening step, the commercial makes it infinitely more likely you'll take the next larger step. The wall of uncertainty is revealed to be nothing more than a thin veil, easily pushed aside. With every barrier obliterated, the path is now clear. The commercial has created a frictionless channel for the listener's emotional energy to flow through. It has given them a simple command, a memorable target, and has systematically removed every conceivable reason to hesitate. And it's in this final moment of the call to action that the commercial closes the loop. It ties the logical action, dialing the phone, back to the profound emotional promise made at the beginning. The announcer doesn't just say, "Call us now." They say, "Don't let them get away with it. Call Top Dog Law right now and get the justice you deserve." Or, "Your one call gets our team of investigators on the case immediately. Call now and make them pay." The call is no longer just a call. It is an act of defiance. It is the first step toward justice. It is the moment you stop being a victim and start being a fighter. It is the physical manifestation of the hope the commercial has so carefully constructed. The command has been given, the path has been cleared, and the final promise has been made. The entire architecture of persuasion is now complete, aimed at producing a single, inevitable outcome. But what happens if you don't call? What happens if you're not in an accident today or tomorrow or even this year? Does the commercial fail? Not at all. In fact, that's when its most insidious and brilliant work truly begins. The architecture of persuasion isn't just designed for immediate action. It's designed for permanent residence. It's a cognitive time bomb, set to detonate not on the commercial's schedule, but on yours. The ultimate goal isn't just to make you pick up the phone. It's to become the only name you can even think of when your world is suddenly turned upside down. This is the long game, the battle for a tiny, priceless piece of real estate inside your memory. And the first tool they use to claim that territory is sound. The Top Dog Law jingle. You're probably hearing it in your head right now. That simple, maddeningly catchy sequence of notes is not an accident. It's a weapon. It's what psychologists call an earworm, a cognitive parasite engineered to burrow into your auditory cortex and refuse to leave. The melody is deliberately simple, using a limited number of notes that follow a predictable, easily memorized pattern. This makes it incredibly easy for your brain, a natural pattern-seeking machine, to latch onto and replay on a loop. It's a piece of involuntary musical imagery, a ghost in your cognitive machine. And it's always accompanied by that perfectly modulated voice, the one we've analyzed, which by now has become a sonic logo as recognizable as the McDonald's BBBA. The specific frequency, the cadence, the reassuring yet firm timbre. It's all part of a sonic identity. When you hear that voice, you don't just hear a narrator. You hear Top Dog Law. It's an auditory Trojan horse, smuggling the brand's entire message of trust, authority, and hope directly into your subconscious, bypassing the skeptical gatekeeper of your conscious mind. But a catchy jingle and a great voice are useless if they're only heard once. The true power, the brute force that carves this brand into the public consciousness, is repetition. Immense, relentless, inescapable repetition. This is the principle of the mere exposure effect, a psychological phenomenon which dictates that we, as humans, tend to develop a preference for things simply because we are familiar with them. You don't have to like the Top Dog Law commercial. You can actively despise it. You can change the station the moment you hear the opening sound effect. It doesn't matter. The work has already been done. You heard it. You recognized it. And that recognition breeds familiarity, and familiarity, over time, insidiously morphs into a sense of trust. It's the constant drip of water that eventually carves a canyon through stone. You hear it on your morning commute stuck in traffic. You hear it on the radio at the mechanic's shop. You hear it while you're picking up groceries. This ubiquity creates a powerful unspoken argument. We are everywhere, therefore we are successful. We are successful, therefore we are good at what we do. It's a form of ambient, passive persuasion. The sheer volume of their advertising budget becomes its own testament to their competence. You begin to think, well, they must be winning cases if they can afford to be on every 15 minutes. This mass saturation does something else too. It builds an illusion of social consensus. Because the ad is everywhere, you subconsciously assume that everyone is hearing it. It becomes part of the shared cultural wallpaper of your city. This creates a powerful form of social proof without ever showing a single testimonial. The commercial implies that calling Top Dog Law isn't just a good idea. It's the normal idea. It's what people do. It removes the friction and anxiety of choice. In a moment of crisis, the human brain doesn't want to sift through a dozen options on Google. It wants the easy, obvious, socially validated answer. And through sheer, overwhelming repetition, Top Dog Law has made itself that answer before you even knew you had the question. And all of this, the sonic branding, the relentless repetition, the manufactured consensus, serves to reinforce the single most brilliant element of their entire strategy: the name itself. Top Dog Law. Let's just stop and appreciate the sheer psychological genius packed into those three simple syllables. It is, without a doubt, a masterclass in positioning. This isn't Miller, Schmidt, and Associates. It isn't the law offices of R.J. Abernathy. Those names are forgettable, generic, and require you to have faith in the unseen credentials of men you've never met. Top Dog Law requires no interpretation. It is a promise, a philosophy, and a battle cry all in one. The metaphor taps into something deep and primal within us. It speaks to our understanding of hierarchy, power, and survival. When you've been in an accident, when you're injured, vulnerable, and facing a faceless insurance company, you are, by definition, the underdog. You are the one who has been kicked. So who do you want in your corner? Do you want a reasonable negotiator? Do you want a fair-minded litigator? No. You want the alpha. You want the biggest, baddest protector in the pack. You want the top dog. The name instantly frames the legal battle not as a complex proceeding of motions and filings, but as a fight. A simple binary conflict between the strong and the weak, the winner and the loser. And in that fight, they promise to be your champion, your aggressor, your teeth and your claws. It's an incredibly empowering fantasy for someone who feels powerless. The name bypasses the analytical part of our brain and hits us straight in the amygdala, the part that processes fear, threats, and the need for safety. It's aggressive. It's memorable. It's confident. It projects an aura of inevitable victory. It's so effective because it doesn't sell you legal services. It sells you a feeling. the feeling of being protected by the strongest, the feeling of turning the tables on your adversary, the feeling of having the power on your side for a change. It is the ultimate distillation of the commercial's entire message, a brand name that does all the persuasive heavy lifting on its own. It's the flag they plant in your mind, a constant reminder of who holds the high ground. So we have the sonic hooks that create an inescapable mental echo. We have the brute force repetition that manufactures familiarity and trust. And we have the primal power of a name that promises dominance and victory. These are the invisible support structures, the deep psychological foundations that make the entire commercial so resilient and effective, ensuring it's not just heard, but remembered. It's a system designed to make a single law firm seem like the only rational choice. But even with all of this, the persuasion is not complete. The machine is built, the trap is set, and the phone call is made. Yet there is one final critical phase. One last piece of psychological jujitsu that happens not over the airwaves, but over the phone line, that converts a curious caller into a committed client. It's the secret to their astonishing conversion rate, and it reveals the true genius of their entire operation. When you dial that number, that 800-888-8888, you are not entering a law office. You are entering a meticulously designed conversion machine. The person who answers the phone is not a paralegal, not a junior associate, and certainly not just a receptionist. They are an intake specialist. And this role, this specific job, is the secret weapon in the top dog arsenal. These are individuals trained not in the nuances of tort law, but in the science of human connection and persuasion. They are masters of empathy, wielding it with the precision of a surgeon. Think about the state of mind of someone calling that number. They're likely in pain, confused, scared about their future, and angry at what happened to them. They are at their most vulnerable. The typical law firm answers the phone with a cold, "Smith & Associates, please hold." You're immediately put on the defensive. You feel like a number, a case file waiting to be processed. Top Dog flips this script entirely. The very first words you hear from an intake specialist are designed to do one thing: disarm you with a flood of validation. It's a masterstroke of psychological conditioning. They don't start with questions about the accident. They start with you. "Thank you so much for calling. You did the right thing." Or, "I'm so sorry to hear you're going through this. That sounds incredibly stressful." Instantly, the power dynamic shifts. You are not a burden. You are a victim who made a brave choice. They are not a gatekeeper. They are an ally. In those first 10 seconds, they build more rapport than most firms do in an entire consultation. They are creating a safe space, an emotional sanctuary where the caller feels heard, understood, and most importantly, justified in their anger and pain. Once that foundation of trust is laid, the specialist begins to guide the narrative. This isn't a passive information gathering session. It is an active process of co-creating a story of injustice. They use carefully crafted, open-ended questions. Tell me exactly what happened in your own words. How has this injury impacted your ability to work, to provide for your family? What are your biggest fears right now? Notice these questions aren't just about the facts of the case. They are about the feeling of the case. They are designed to elicit an emotional response, to get the caller to articulate their own suffering. As the caller tells their story, the specialist listens, validates, and reflects that emotion back. That must have been terrifying. It is completely unacceptable that the insurance company is treating you this way. They are, in essence, helping the caller build the case against the enemy in their own mind, with Top Dog positioned as the avenging hero who will fight for them. This process transforms a set of unfortunate circumstances into a compelling narrative of victimhood and righteous anger. The caller is no longer just a person who got into a car accident. They are a hardworking individual wronged by a negligent party and bullied by a faceless corporation. This narrative is crucial because people don't hire lawyers based on logic. They hire them based on emotion. They hire the firm they believe will fight the hardest for them, the one that gets it. And just when the caller is fully invested in this narrative, feeling understood and supported, the intake specialist deploys the next phase of the strategy, creating scarcity and establishing authority. After listening intently, the specialist will say something like this: "Listen, based on everything you've told me, I think this is exactly the kind of case our senior partners want to hear about. Your situation is serious, and it deserves the attention of our best people. Let me see if I can get one of our top litigators to review your file immediately." Do you see what just happened? The caller is no longer just hiring a lawyer. They are now being auditioned by the best. The firm isn't just available. It's selective. This subtle flip makes the caller want Top Dog's services even more. It's the velvet rope effect. By implying that only the most serious cases get the attention of the top litigators, they elevate the perceived value of their service to an elite level. The caller feels special, chosen. They are no longer shopping for a lawyer. They are hoping to be accepted by the premier firm in the city. Then comes the final 1-2 punch that seals the deal. First, they remove the single biggest barrier to entry: fear of cost. The specialist will reiterate with profound confidence the core promise from the commercial. And remember, you pay us absolutely nothing, not a single penny, unless we win your case. We take all the risk. We believe in our clients, and we believe in our ability to win. This is the ultimate friction remover. It transforms the decision from a risky financial commitment into a no-brainer. A free lottery ticket with a multi-million-dollar jackpot. And right after that, they drop the social proof bomb. We've helped thousands of people in situations just like yours recover hundreds of millions of dollars. You are not alone in this, and we know exactly how to fight these insurance companies and win. This final statement anchors the entire conversation. It combines the comfort of community, thousands of people just like you, with the promise of overwhelming success, hundreds of millions of dollars. It solidifies the idea that calling was not just a good decision, but the only logical decision. By the end of this 10 to 15-minute call, the prospective client has been taken on a powerful emotional journey. They went from feeling isolated and vulnerable to feeling understood, validated, empowered, and part of a winning team. They've been given a clear enemy, a powerful ally, and a risk-free path to justice. Signing the client agreement at that point isn't a sale, it's a foregone conclusion. It's the logical next step in the story they just co-wrote with the intake specialist. This is the true genius of Top Dog Law. The radio commercial, for all its brilliance, is just the tip of the spear. It's a highly effective, low-cost net thrown over an entire metropolitan area to catch people at their moment of need. The jingle gets stuck in your head, the simple message resonates with your pain, and the repetition makes them the first name you think of. The ad's job isn't to convince you to hire them. Its job is to get you to make one simple, low-commitment action. Dial the number. Once you dial, you are no longer in the world of mass marketing. You are in a world of personalized psychological persuasion. The entire system is a masterclass in full-funnel marketing. The radio ad is the top of the funnel, broad awareness and lead generation. The phone call is the middle and bottom of the funnel, lead nurturing and conversion, executed with ruthless efficiency. Every element we've discussed in this series works in perfect harmony to make this happen. The unforgettable phone number isn't just memorable. It's the front door to the conversion machine. The us versus them narrative isn't just a radio trope. It's the central theme of the intake call that frames the entire legal battle. The appeal to emotion isn't just a cheap trick. It's the foundation of a sales process that bypasses logic and connects directly with the caller's deepest fears and desires. The social proof of millions won isn't just a hollow boast. It's the final irrefutable piece of evidence used to close the deal. What Top Dog Law has created is something far more sophisticated than a catchy ad. They have systematized empathy. They have productized reassurance. They have built an assembly line for converting human pain and uncertainty into signed retainers. It's a beautiful, terrifying, and undeniably effective system. So, what makes the Top Dog Law radio commercial so persuasive? The answer is that the commercial itself is only part of the equation. Its true power lies in the fact that it is the perfect key, designed to unlock a much more powerful and persuasive machine. The human-to-human connection that happens over the phone. It persuades you just enough to take one small step, and then hands you off to a system designed to ensure you walk the rest of the way. It's a lesson that applies far beyond the world of personal injury law. It's about understanding that true persuasion isn't about a single message, but about designing an entire journey. A journey that meets people where they are, validates their feelings, and guides them toward a predetermined conclusion, making them feel like it was their idea all along. That is the secret. That is the genius. And that is why, whether you love them or hate them, you will never ever forget them.